Hi there. Nah. Will Merab be able to wrestle the title away from O'Malley, or will the Sugar Show produce another scintillating viral knockout? It's UFC 306 NOCHE. This is Fighting with Friends. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. NOCHE is upon us, and it takes place at the Las Vegas Sphere at 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. That is, of course, South African time. With me, as always, today, ladies and gentlemen, breaking down this card, I have the reigning, defending, of course, vegan champion of the world. That is, of course, Brother Gaia.
Yes.
What's happening, Brother Gaia?
Yo, super amped, bro. UFC 306 at the Sphere. 1-1. This is going to be one of the big cards. Looking forward to it. My brain has been exploding thinking about these fights. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, also with us this evening, we have this man is still undefeated as a father. You might know him as Mr. Brazil. It's George Jefferson, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jedi Knight.
Yo.
What's happening, George Jefferson?
Yeah, no, things are happening. Theo, what's this? 6 amped.
Yeah, 306.
306. It is 306, in fact. And boys, as always, we're going to start at the top of the card, where we see Sugar Sean O'Malley, who is 18-1, arguably undefeated, depending on who you ask. He, of course, has 12 wins by KO, is on a 7-fight streak, last time outclassing Chito Vera by unanimous decision. And he's making his second title defense against Merab Dvalishvili, who is 17-4 on a 10-fight streak, dominating Henry Cejudo in his previous fight. Sean O'Malley is the 1.75 favorite here, and Merab is starting at the 2.05 underdog. So, gentlemen, I am so solidly on the fence with this fight. I have no idea. Ross, we were talking about it before we went on. Ross, I'm going to go to you, Brother Gaia.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts here, bro?
Yeah, just to reiterate what we were talking about off camera that Eddie's referring to is that both of us are trying to rack our brain in this matchup and having a difficult time sort of picking a clear-cut winner because it's hard to sort of to see that because both guys pose the exact threat that can beat one another. You know, Merab has all the right tools to be the one that can beat Sugar Sean O'Malley. And the same thing can be said for Sugar Sean. He's got the exact set of tools that can beat someone like Merab. That's what makes the fight very, very intriguing. Because the part of me is like, oh, Merab's gonna just go out there and out cardio this guy. You know what I mean? Out wrestle him, out grapple him, and just ragdoll him. But he has to obviously get through that distance first. Like Mike always says, close the void and then get to the opponent. And Sugar Sean O'Malley is probably one of the most difficult guys to actually get hold of. Like, you know, to hit him, to grab him, he's like it barely ever happens. His absorption rate of shots is so low. He's really rarely gets touched by anyone. So for that, it's like it's a bit of a puzzle to figure out for Merab as well as for Sugar Sean, because like I said, Merab is very relentless, and you know that he puts himself in the line of fire to go and get his results. It's just so difficult to see. So what my conclusion was is like whoever essentially puts their game plan and executes the game plan the best is probably going to get the victory. And so what we're going to see in this fight, just me spitballing here, so what we're going to see. You can't if no one gets knocked out very early. You're probably going to see a fight of the two camps sort of adjusting to one another's game plan throughout the 25 minutes. What I'm really interested to see is if or when Merab gets Sugar Sean down, what happens then? You know, because Merab is not necessarily the most decorated finisher. You know, even though he's on 10-fight win streak, a lot of it is unanimous decisions and like completely just mauling his opponent to the point where they don't have anything going forward. They can't necessarily beat him. Granted, Marlon Moraes was close enough to almost knocking him out. Even Henry Cejudo had knocked Merab down, but like Merab had said in one of his interviews, people get knocked down in fights. If you put yourself in line of fire, you're going to get knocked down. So Merab, for him, it's about closing that distance and executing what he does best, which is obviously, we know, the wrestling and combat sambo. And then for Sugar Sean, using his natural movement, keep Merab guessing which side he's going to come from. And Sugar Sean can attack from anywhere, like any stance. He can throw any sort of limb from any stance, and that's what makes him so super dangerous. And he's super, super active. And that's why I'm having such a difficult time choosing the fight, choosing the winner here, because I can see both guys doing enough to get themselves a victor. It's just about, like I said, who executes game plans and who's able to adjust in fight. He's going to be the one who probably gets victorious in this fight here.
Yeah, I agree with you 1000%, brother Guy, and it is an absolutely nearly impossible fight to call from our perspective anyway. But I'm sure Jedi looks like he's feeling a bit different over there.
Please, Jedi.
Look, it's a. I think it's an even fight. It's like a pick-em fight. I don't think Merab is totally gonna be outclassed here. For Sugar Sean, other than Aljamain Sterling, like, he didn't really fight any good wrestlers or grapplers. Like Aljo would have been now like the main test, but obviously Aljo went in there thinking, it was very disrespectful, and was obviously like just thinking he's gonna ragdoll Sugar Sean, but overcommitted and lost. So I would have liked to have seen the rematch, but that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about the best friend trying to revenge his brother and take the title, right? So the smaller guy, but with the same caliber of wrestling now, do you think Merab is like a Dagestani wrestler?
You asking me or Eddie?
It's crazy that you're asking that question, because this is like exactly the same lines that the conversation was following off air. But brother Guy, I'll let it go to you.
I wouldn't look. We know he's got the sort of similar attributes, but there is a bit of a difference to it. I would say that the difference is when you secure the takedown, right? Because if you look at Merab, I would say that what he has different over the Dagestani traditional wrestling that they do is that Merab, he's got this transition wrestling and transition submissions, as well as the relentlessness. The man shot 46 takedowns against Peter Yan in 25 minutes. That's a lot of
that's
takedowns.
Peter Yan also. It's a different beast.
So just hang on, Jedi. So you don't respect Peter Yan's grappling?
No, I'm saying Peter Yan is the best in the division. That's obviously my pick. That's always been.
But what I'm saying is, because you said that the only grappler that Sugar Sean's faced is Aljamain. So you don't rate Peter Yan's grappling?
No, I do rate Peter Yan's. Dude, I think Peter Yan was robbed in that fight. So I don't think Sugar Sean deserved that win. And I've always felt that way. And that win actually shot him to number one. That he was a title contender. Like overnight. Overnight, he went from 10 to 1. So I don't know. He didn't even win. So he's the champ.
But to answer your question, to answer your question with Merab, I think he uses. If you watch some of his footage where he does combat sambo tournaments, that's how he fights in MMA as well. It's a lot of the aggressive forward pressure punching to close the space and then start doing the wrestling and sort of look to control guys and win on that kind of points, because that's how the tournaments get scored. But if you look at like the way Khabib, the way what's his name, Islam. If you look at how they wrestle and how they control guys on the ground, Merab doesn't do it exactly like that. It's a little bit different to it. Like I said, his number one weapon is his gas tank. So Merab is the kind of guy that will transition with you on the ground so much that you will get confused to the point where, he's just going to tire you out and ground and pound to the point and get his finish. Or maybe look for that submission. Whereas the Dagestani wrestlers, they look to control you and then finish you and get you done right there. Don't give you a chance to get up. Suffocate you. You're not going to get a chance to move anywhere. And I think Merab doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He just tires you out by clinching and wrestling, taking you down, picking you up, strike, pick you up, put you down again, and just make you exhausted to the point where you can't fight him back. And that's usually how he gets his wins. So that's the difference I found.
So, and then with Sugar Sean, he's just gonna stand on the outside and kickbox.
Yeah, he's probably gonna look for knees. He's probably gonna look for that kind of shot. Probably take out Merab's legs. Probably take out Merab's body. He's been talking a lot about looking for left or right knockout. Choose, guys. What do you guys think? Left or right? And he's been doing this the whole time. So, yeah, I think he set those hands up. He's probably going to have to attack Merab's legs, because if we don't take Merab's legs out or his engine,
it's going to be a long night.
He's going to strike. Yeah, because Merab's you can bet your whole house is going to be relentless. You can bet your house.
Yeah, so there we have it then, bro. I think Merab's going to decision this, bro.
You think so?
I think he's gonna win by decision, Merab. Yeah, unless he comes in hot in the first round or two and does what Aljamain did, where he Aljamain was first controlling the beginning parts of the fight, and then he started following him, and that's where I think he got lost in the feints, and he just couldn't keep up with the footwork of that brew. O'Malley. So I don't think Merab's gonna do the same thing. I think Merab's gonna kind of force him to circle one way and then cut him off. You know,
I do think Merab, and this I could get shot here in the comments for this, but I do think Merab is a better wrestler than Aljo.
I think so too.
You also think so? I think he's a bit of a better wrestler than Aljo.
So it's more of his go-to, where Aljamain will still want to stand and box and do
strike with you,
things. Yeah. And I just think it's more natural. But Aljamain's also been a wrestler that was his base. You know what I mean? That's what he.
Look, he's world class wrestling. He's top notch. But I just feel like Merab's wrestling game is so much more polished, man. Like he's cleaner with getting his takedowns. He's cleaner of defending takedowns and sort of mitigating sort of dangers when it comes to grappling. Whereas Aljo, we've seen him scramble a lot of the times. We've seen him sort of push for the takedown to the point where he puts himself in too much danger for it. And I think Merab's a little bit cleaner with what's the word? Shooting for his takedowns. He doesn't put himself in a bit of danger as much as Aljo. You know, that's why I think it's a little bit more cleaner. And like Eddie was saying, sorry, my last point, like Eddie was saying, is that Sugar Sean has been taken down by Peter Yan quite a number of times in their fight.
Bro, Peter Yan schooled that man. I don't even understand.
You know,
schooled him.
So Merab, I think, and we saw what he did to Peter Yan again. So I think, it's a very good stylistic matchup here, and either one can go with it. But I'm gonna. My heart wants Peter Yan. My heart wants Merab to win it. But I'm going to say Sugar Sean gets it done.
Ooh, controversial.
I'm going. So I'm not tied to any of these dudes. I don't really care who wins it, because I don't like both of them. So I'm going to go with Merab on a 5-round decision for me. Yeah. It's going to grind it out.
Merab by decision. So, brother Guy, how does Sugar Sean get it done? Is it going to be another viral KO for the lads? Or do you see him possibly pushing a decision with Merab?
I don't know about the decision. Actually, you know what? I think he can go, especially the way he went with 5 rounds with
Cheeto.
What's his name? Cheeto Vera. However,
Cheeto
is durable though, bro. Cheeto don't get knocked out.
Don't get knocked out.
He's like Roberto Duran.
Scientifically proven.
Like South American.
and also Cheeto Vera doesn't apply pressure in the same way Merab does.
Yeah, another completely different fighters. But I'm just saying, in terms of durability, there's Cheeto Vera's up there with the top, bro.
But the reason why I'm pointing that out is because we saw Sugar Sean go 5 rounds there. However, we saw Sugar Sean go 5 rounds with not being pushed back as enough that maybe Merab would maybe push him back.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Cheeto Vera doesn't forward pressure the same kind of way. You know what I mean? He's not going to get you going backwards. And however, that being said, something about me just thinks that because I saw Merab get dropped by Marlon Moraes, he got dropped by Enis Cejudo. He does have it in him he has to close the distance to get there. And we know what Sugar Sean can do. Sugar Sean is very quick and he's very smart, and now he can.
Yeah, nah, that
Oaks
dude's
down.
feints, bro.
His feints is
Crazy.
sick, absolutely
Crazy.
sick. So I can see I can see 5 rounds decision for Sugar Sean, but I'm not going to go with it. I think that's the least likeliest result for Sugar Sean. I can see him getting the finish round 3 or 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Round 3 or 4 finish for Sugar Sean, according
Yeah.
to Brother Gaia. Like I said in the beginning, I am solidly on the fence here. But if I was a betting man, and I am a betting man, I would go with Sugar Sean. But more about that later, boys. We're gonna keep it moving now.